When I was young, growing up in the community, we didn't have nobody to look out for us. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have a father figure in the house. My mom raised me. When I started cutting hair at the age of 15 in the barbershop, I was working around older guys. And those guys taught me how to be a man.
Right.
They taught me how to live. You know what I'm saying? They told me what to do and what not to do, how to make money honestly, and how to stay away from the gun violence and the gang violence.
Welcome to Barbers Against Bullets. Matter of fact, the Barbers Against Bullets podcast. Here, we are going to be discussing some very important things. But before I get to that, let me introduce myself. My name is Sayram Selassie. I'm the executive director of the Agency for Substance Abuse Prevention. And out of the relationship that we have in our community, we have worked with local barbers to create Barbers Against Bullets. And the name stands for pretty much what it is. However, you guys are about to hear some in-depth knowledge and information about what this, not program, but movement is all about. So first I want to say hello, brother. How you doing, man?
How you doing?
We kind of restricted.
Yes, we can do that. Who can do that?
Got my good buddy here, Mr. Thomas Zimmerman, a.k.a. Pooh. And
Pooh's
we are
Barbershop.
at Pooh's Barbershop, man.
Yes,
So
sir.
glad to have you here, man.
Yes,
How you
sir.
feeling, bro?
I feel pretty good.
Good, man. I want to start off first by telling a story, man, that you may not remember. I was a young man, probably about 13, 14 years old, kind of feeling myself, and we were hooping at Fort McClellan. And you were out there as well, you know, still looking young like you do, brother. And you said if we beat y'all, you would give everybody free haircuts. And we were like, man, no, we ain't going to do that. And I played my hardest game ever. I think I might have had 30 points and 15 rebounds, something like that. But anyway, we won.
Yeah.
And, man, the next time at the barbershop, you literally honored that and cut all of our hair, man. You remember that, bro?
I kind of remember that. I do
Nice,
kind of remember
man.
that.
But already, man, what made you have that spirit about yourself that even young men as myself growing up in this community always wanted to gravitate towards, man?
Well, I look at it like this. Like when I was young, growing up in the community, you know what I'm saying? I stayed in Hub City. That was, it was pretty, like, it was a lot of gang violence and a lot of drug violence. So where I grew up, we didn't have nobody to look out for us. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have a father figure in the house. My mom raised me. And, it was kind of hard being in the community. Nobody would try to help us or try to encourage us. But then when I started cutting hair at the age of 15 in the barbershop, I was working around older guys. And those guys taught me how to be a man.
Right.
They taught me how to live. You know what I'm saying? They told me what to do and what not to do, how to make money honestly, and how to stay away from the gun violence and the gang violence.
Yes, sir.
And I had older people like Chester Williams and Fred Wolverton. Fred Wolverton, rest in peace. But those guys taught me a whole lot at the age of 15 working in the shop. I was the only kid. And then what they did was saying, you're going to have to earn your money.
Yeah.
You got to work for what you get. These grown men may not let you cut your hair, but we're going to make you cut all these kids' hair until you figure this out.
Wow. So, man, you've been cutting hair since 15 years of age. Over the span of how long you've been cutting hair, I mean, even just before we get into the Barbers Against Bullets, like what have you seen change about the industry, man? Or has it pretty much always been the same?
The industry pretty much has been the same. Barbers now are more technical and has more resources. They are more talented than the barbers back in the day per se, but as far as the way the hair look and how the finished results are the same.
Right.
But nowadays the technology, the equipment is different. The atmosphere is different because when the world changed, we had to change. We had to get on board.
That's right. Yes, sir. Well, one thing I want to go ahead and talk about how we got here. As you well know, we've been meeting now for several months, man.
Yes,
with
sir. Yes,
all
sir.
of you guys, we call you all our barber ambassadors, man.
Yes, sir.
So you are an ambassador for this program. And pretty much, we got it started through trying to figure out from the community what is causing all of this gun violence. And we surveyed the community, and we were able to get all type of feedback and responses. And from the community, it came out that the barbers are a crucial element that has been untapped to hopefully solve some of these issues. So why do you even think, first of all, that the community really put out the name that, hey, what if the barbers get involved in this issue? What do you think about that? How did that?
I felt like it was a good idea because me being a young man, I learned manhood through barbers.
Right.
They taught me, they raised me, and whenever I got in any kind of trouble, they was there for me.
Mm-hmm.
These were barber guys. I just happened to be working in the shop with them.
Right.
These guys were my father figures. They could go to my mom and tell her certain things. If they couldn't get at me straight, she would.
That's right.
They also educated me. They also pushed me into going to college.
Mm-hmm.
They also pushed me into applying myself and realizing that as a man is not supposed to be lazy.
Yes, sir.
A man has to fend for himself. If a man don't work, he don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed me that you have to be humble, and they showed me that you have to have manners and be able to get along with people because you are providing a service.
That's right. Yes, sir. One of the things I've always felt strongly about is that in order for a boy to be a man, he has to see a man.
Exactly.
And one thing that we're even learning at our agency through this process is that sometimes a young man may not even know who his father is.
Right.
But who is he getting to see every 2 weeks or so? His barber.
Yes.
So sometimes that barber, people like yourself, become that, we call it surrogate father. Like you get to hear how the grade's going, how they doing in sports, stuff like that. I mean, how does that even feel to you to literally, even young men like myself, to watch us grow up and see what we're doing, man? Like, how does that feel?
Well, it feels great because, you know, especially when you see kids at 1 or 2 years old when you first meet them.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're looking around, they're teenagers. Now they searching for this information that sometimes they can't talk to their mother or their father because their mother and father may be too strict. So they be really want to know an honest opinion because, you know, your mama going to tell you what's right. Your daddy going to tell you what's right.
That's right.
The barbers have to tell you what's right too, but we can talk to them a different way. We can meet them where they're at. We can get on their level and talk to them like, okay, this is what you need to do in life.
Right.
First of all, you need to make some goals. First of all, you need to get a real education or you're going to work hard the rest of your life. I tell kids that all the time. If you don't get a real education, don't go to school taking these little business, you know. Get you a real education. Because if you don't, you're going to work hard the rest of your life. I tell them all the time, I might die in the barbershop. I don't know. I got to work till the day I die.
Yes, sir. Always something
Get you a
to do.
job with benefits. You know, get you a 5-year goal. Turn it to a 20-year goal. And figure out what you want to do in life because everybody not going to make it in basketball. Everybody not going to make it in football. Gotcha.
Well, real quick, man, because we're going to be talking about all of these wonderful things through the podcast, but we've now had 2 major events. Young Jock at one of those, Carl Anthony Payne, Cut the Violence events, really symbolic and significant programming that we've now done in the community. And you as one of the ambassadors of Barbers Against Bullets, what already type of impact have you seen it have in the community?
Well, the kids are coming in now asking, what is Barbers to Bullets? They also saying, when are y'all going to have the next one? You know, like they are interested in coming, but transportation with some of the younger kids, some of the older kids wondering if it's going to be safe. And I have to explain to them this is something that we're doing to try to clear up the community, try to make the community better. And you know, back in the day, communities, they had unity in the community.
That's right.
Right now, we don't have that unity no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're divided. And until we get that unity back and make them realize they need to come out, get some sound doctrine, some education about what we're trying to do and how we're trying to push the kids in a positive direction.
Right.
Because in my day, we had the youth council. They would make you come to the youth councils during the summer programs. You would spend most of your summer programs youth council. Then they rewarded us with a trip at the end of the youth council. In order to go on that trip, you have to make sure that you kept your nose clean. You couldn't come to these functions with all this nonsense. And so this is similar to what we had, but it's just a different way they're doing it.
Gotcha.
And we're trying to reach the teenagers. We're trying to reach the younger kids and let them know that you can grow up in this community and you still can be safe, but it's all about your mind frame, your thought process. And we try to challenge the kids in the shop to think about what you want to do. Think about positive stuff. and realize that there's a lot of world out here,
Yeah.
and it's not it. This ain't even 0.5% of how the real world lives.
Yeah. Well, man, I want to thank you, brother. Thank you for being one of those ambassadors, and we're going to continue to make this organic movement do what it does, man. So appreciate you, brother.
You're welcome. You're
Yes,
welcome.
sir.